That's Naked Eyes, always something there to remind me. 9/11. We are live on Facebook. Thank you very much for joining us. We have Hsueh with us, who is a Straits Times senior food correspondent, and we're talking about Johanne Siy and her journey of passion, I guess you could say. Now, she was already at the top of her game. Mm-hmm. Why leave that and start from scratch?
Well, why not?
Mike.
I guess for every chef, right, the dream is to own your own restaurant. Run your own restaurant, so that you have control over the ambience, the decor, the menu, everything, right?
Right.
So it just makes sense for her to, bide her time. And
It's interesting, though, because you see so many chefs and so many F&B outlets going, this is wrong. I can't get this. I can't get that. I can't get staff. I can't get this. And yet she had the courage to go out there and do this.
Yes. There's a lot of courage in the industry, right? Every time you learn of a restaurant opening, you're thinking, why in this climate? Why would you do it, right? But, I think they believe that they have something different to offer, right? Something like Johanne says, that breaks through the clutter, right?
This is something like on a previous interview that you actually said, right? A lot of chefs are saying that is the only way, have something unique to offer.
Exactly.
And to tell you the truth, as tough as we know the industry is, right? When I learn of like a new restaurant opening, especially one by such, an esteemed chef, I get excited.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad. I'm like, thank you for doing this.
Right.
It's like more places for me to go to.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also because of her background and because of what she plans to do, I just love the fact that she is saying, our seaweed, our salt, our produce, just as worthy of being highlighted as, caviar, truffles, And I love the fact that she is going to champion all the growers, all the producers, all the craftsmen, the artisans in Southeast Asia, and I think it's going to be a very unique restaurant, Aro. I just cannot wait to see how it takes shape and how and what's on the menu.
What struck you most about the vision?
Well, I think it's because of her unique background. The chef is Filipino Chinese, and she has lived in Singapore for many years, since her early 20s when she came here to work.
Okay.
Right? And then she went away to Culinary Institute of America, which is very prestigious. And then she worked for like the best restaurants in New York City, including Le Bernardin, which is a seafood-centric restaurant, 3 Michelin stars. And then she's worked all over the world as well. So she worked in Restaurant Andre for 4 years. That's serious. We're not talking stages. We're talking, we put in serious time, right?
Yep.
And then after that, she went to Scandinavia and she worked for very well-regarded restaurants as well, Noma, Relais, and in Sweden, Faviken, right? And then she comes back and she like really just, jazzes up Lola, the restaurant in Ansiang Hill.
I love it. I've been there. It's good.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And then she brought her vision of it, right? And I love the fact that she thinks through the entire dish. And there's a sense of fun, a playfulness, but also like a very much like knowing the provenance of the produce that you use, right? So like for this, one of my favorite dishes of hers is this tri-tip, beef tri-tip. It's from Australia, and the beef is fed like cacao nibs and Swiss chard, and she serves these as accompaniments to the steak.
Wow.
So I just thought so much thinking behind it, and the food, and she doesn't waste anything as well, but she makes all the trimmings and all that into like very compelling accompaniments to the main event. So so I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does with some of the produce that she's unearthed,
Yeah, and especially when it's her own place, her rules,
Yeah.
her vision.
It's going to be quite good.
Yeah.
Let's continue this conversation on Facebook.
Good time.
Alrighty, so the restaurant is described as a real labor of love. What makes it so personal for her?
Okay, so so Aro is the name of the restaurant. In Latin, it means to work the soil, and in her hometown dialect, it's love, to love. So labor of love.
Wonderful.
Put together, it becomes labor of love. So you can see that she was saying, like, you know, with a laugh, she's like, you know, I'm going to put some of my own collection of art and all that in the restaurant, right? So let's see how much there is left in my home, right? You know, so yeah, and you can see from the way she approaches her food how, you know, how this is an opportunity for her to really express herself. You know, like to use ingredients that inspire her. To put some of her collection of art and artifacts and books that inspire her into the restaurant. So it's, you know, I think it would be like an extension of her home.
I think like to dine with that kind of experience, right? To really understand and actually know very clearly what the chef was thinking every step of the way is really quite a treat.
Right.
Quite an experience. Yeah.
So it is going to be a bit like, you know how like we all go to private dining, right? And then people who run restaurants get really steamed that they exist, right?
Yep.
So hers would be like private dining vibe, but in a professional licensed setting.
Right.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So you get that personal touch, and it's going to be counter dining for the most part, except for a table and the PDR and all that, right?
Yep.
It's going to be counter dining, so you really just interact with the customers.
Oh, I love a counter seat.
Nice.
You know, you see everything that goes on.
Yeah. So the restaurant is going to take is taking the space that was vacated by Isora. So Isora was also counter dining.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be beautiful, I think.
A lot to look
Be
forward
quite
to. Hey,
interesting.
Yeah.
But how unusual is her level of commitment? I mean, you read about she's traveled to France, she's traveled to Japan, the Philippines, just to source ingredients, as you said, to meet the artisans, to promote the artisans. How unusual is this level?
Not in this day and age. It's not unusual. Yeah. So restaurants routinely would send their chefs to interesting dining cities so that they can get a sense of the lay of the land, what's happening. You know, chefs also would go to places which, say for example Hanwoo and Handong, right? Chefs have gone there to go meet the farmers, you know, to decide whether or not they want to put the Korean beef and pork on their menu, right?
Sure.
So what sets you apart is what you can find and how exclusive it is. Right? There are some suppliers you would, if you were a chef, you would tell the supplier, this only comes to me.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Right? Why wouldn't you, right? Because then you're the only person who has that, right?
Yeah.
So it's not unusual anymore. Yeah.
I mean, it may not be unusual, but like that's really adding to the challenge that already exists,
Of
right?
course,
in F&B, that's just wild. So
Yeah.
the one else, she's putting in a very low sort of 7-figure investment, right? With so many restaurants actually losing, is this a particularly risky time to open up? Do you think?
I think it's risky if you're going into it not knowing what you're doing.
Okay.
I think if you're self-confident, you're assured, and you know that you have a product that will set yourself apart from the rest, I don't think it's reckless.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you already got a very clear sense of it, right? About how her whole idea for the restaurant, and she is very unique, given her own life experience, given all that she's done, and who she is, and she's got the skills to back it up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And she had also built up a huge fan base of people who are like, when are you opening? You know, and these are people who would support her, who would go multiple times, you know. And that's what you want, right?
Just a question aside, this is like she's really made Singapore sort of her base, right? As in like
she's lived here she's Singaporean, right? So she's lived here for decades. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, this is really something exciting.
It's really something. I mean, I just, you know,
she's not setting up a restaurant anywhere else, right?
No.
So this is her, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's a very personal statement.
Wow.
So I've had a chance to taste the the dinosaur egg salt from the Philippines.
I have
me?
seen that documentary. It is
Wait,
the
hold
way
on.
they make the salt.
Dinosaur
Yes.
egg salt.
Yes.
So it's sort of made in a clay mold that is like an egg shape. Yeah,
And it's
and
this big, so it
and
looks
it's
like
laborious.
Yes.
I mean, just looking at the way it's made, it's just laborious. But at the end of it, right,
Yeah.
it's a very gentle salt, and most people would sort of like grind,
Like,
sort of grate it at the
Yeah,
table.
right.
Yeah. So I've had a chance to taste it in other places, right? But I can't wait to see what she does with it, and I really want to see what she does with seaweed as well, which I think is so underrated, you know. And it's just her sensibility, her delicate touch, you know, the sort of like the thinking through. That is what's exciting for me.
This is the thing. You got a lady here opening up a restaurant.
Yep.
In your mind, what's the difference between these super good female chefs and these super good male chefs?
Okay.
What?
Okay, this is a very loaded question.
Yeah,
because
this is
Can you
very
really pin
loaded.
it down to like
no,
you know,
because what? There must be differences.
Yes.
There has to be, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's down to fine detail, is it down to fine detail? Is it palette? What?
Okay, one thing it is not is pretty flowers. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's not. Yes.
Yeah, you know, which is like a particular bugbear of mine.
All right.
But yeah, I think okay, so to not rile too many people up, I would say that I don't think it's a difference that is very obvious, right? I kind of think that there are male chefs, and who can have the kind of like delicate touch and finesse and whatever as a women chef, and women chef who can cook very robust food, right?
Sure.
I think it all boils down to the personality and the thinking and the training of the chef, right? And sort of like their life experience and how that translates onto the plate. Yeah. So I don't think it should be too obvious whether the chef is man or woman. I just think that's kind of sexist.
Yeah,
right.
No, I think it's like you said, it's down to very personal things about the individual.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're actually going to go back on
radio.
air, so come and join us on 1FM 91.3.
There you go, Roxette and Joyride. It's 9:23.
Very interesting question from FD about male chefs versus female chefs. Think of it this way: it's like male DJ versus female DJ.
Yeah, what is the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference?
She's an energizer bunny.
And you're not?
I'm not.
I don't think it's pegged to like the gender lah.
Yeah, it's pegged to whether FD had Red Bull this morning.
Did you have Red Bull
no,
this
I didn't.
morning? Yeah.
No.
He did
It's just
yesterday.
sometimes I think when women do something, no matter what they do, I feel there's that little extra touch that goes into it.
Okay, I can see where you're going with this.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
No matter what they do, there's
Okay.
that little extra touch that goes into it.
What's that?
I don't know. I can't describe it. Describe it. It could be feel. It could be. Some people say it's love.
So you're saying men chefs don't cook with love?
No, I'm not saying they don't cook with love. I'm just saying that.
That's fighting words,
Yeah, I know
FD.
they're fighting words.
No,
I know.
But I
know.
love what you said on our Facebook Live, Hsueh Yin. You said that you should not be able to tell if the chef is male
or female. It's very
It
true.
should just be.
That's a very
do I
good
love
point.
this?
It's very true.
Do I love
Yes.
this food?
It's very
Right?
true.
Yes,
It's very true.
And is their personal individualness coming out?
Yeah,
So I love
exactly.
that point. I love that point.
Okay, with her tasting menu costing around what $200-300 a person, what makes a fine dining experience feel worth that price today?
I can tell you now that it will not be an overload of caviar, uni, and truffles. Okay, those things do not move me at all. Okay, so I look for details, provenance of the ingredients, how they are treated. Whether or not the meat is cooked in an interesting and perfect way. The temperature of the food.
Sure.
Things like that really impress me. So you can one of my favorite restaurants is Nao. It's a Korean restaurant in the Hyundai factory in Jurong, right? And their meals are like $88, but the amount of work and the detail that goes into every panchan is insane. It's just really insane. You think about, you backtrack and you think, how did they arrive at this? How did they, you know, the machinations behind it, the thinking behind it, that is what impresses me.
And you can't help but think of that, right? Because I've had a meal there.
Yeah.
And you're like, for that price? But somehow in its simplicity, right? It's like, they make it seem like it's so effortless. But but something about it, when you taste it, you just go like, no, this is something more.
Right?
You
the
think
layers
about it,
of flavor, the complexity. Right? The fact that somebody twisted romaine into rings that you polish off in 1 second, you know, but it just looks perfect, right? You know, all these things are what impress me, what makes fine dining. Right?
Worth the drive out. I would say.
Yeah, but you know, I'm gonna stick my neck out and say Aro will have that kind of commitment to quality, I think.
Okay. Then as a final question, is that what's going to make Aro Singapore's next destination restaurant?
I hope so. I hope for Joanne. I hope for, you know, for the restaurant. I hope she makes a lot of waves.
What does it take to become a destination restaurant? In your mind.
You know, so many destination restaurants have sort of risen and fallen. You know, I would think that it must be a chef who has something interesting to say in a very crowded field. Right? Yeah.
And that gets increasingly hard.
Very difficult. Because everybody is doing the sourcing, the seeking out the artisans, is telling a personal story. What makes one personal story more compelling than another, right?
Correct. And you know, with the diners being even more exposed these days, they're like, oh, is that really that new? You know, that kind of thing.
So a story is not enough. A story is not enough. Good ingredients are not enough. Good crockery not enough. You know, everything has to come together, right? In a particularly interesting way and compelling way.
I mean, I really hope people really appreciate how much goes into, like, for every dish that serves, for every restaurant that is, you know, its doors open, so much goes into it.
Right.
So many details.
And can I also say, you know, in a way, destination restaurants over what you want, what a chef needs, and what the restaurant scene here needs is restaurants where people can keep going back. Why do you want to cater to people who just come one time?
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
Right? That's true.
Right? And then you cannot change your menu because, like, for example, if you talk about fat duck, right? You cannot change any of your signatures because people go there one time and they want to have the greatest hits, right?
That's true. That's true.
Same thing with the French Laundry, right? Right? Same thing, you know. I mean, you have to keep trotting out the greatest hits because people have one chance to kind of eat a restaurant and they want to eat those things.
It's like a concert.
It is.
Sometimes you go and see your favorite music artist and when they don't play the greatest hits,
why?
What's going on?
I want my money back. Yeah, right.
Right. No, but that's a good point. And you know what? I think if she adopts that mindset, which it feels like she wants to tell her own personal story from what you've shared.
Right.
So she's not about making this a destination restaurant. I think it's like if people give her that title, she will graciously accept it.
Sure.
But I feel that she's really going to make it very exciting locally.
And you have to keep evolving, and you cannot just have one story to tell about your life, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, she's only 45, but there's not just one. You know, you don't just have one story of your life to tell.
And I mean, her journey is incredible. She chalked up that much experience.
Yeah, I know, right? And she started late. She started later than most people would have started, right?
When did she start again? Like
in her 20s, mid-20s, I think. She went to CIA.
She caught
up.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Wow, really incredible.
Natural talent, I would say. Yeah.
Okay, we're all looking forward to the opening. So let's end the interview with our quick fire questions.
All right. One food you would never get sick of, no matter how much of it you have.
Sushi.
Really? favorites? Like
You and me both.
Oh,
Yes,
sushi.
right.
Do you have a
Yes.
favorite type?
Yes.
Favorite
Sushi.
sushi? Just any sushi will do it.
No, not
Ah,
any sushi.
see? Must be
Not any
specific.
sushi.
Ah.
Yeah, sushi in Tokyo.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I saved my money to
Although
do
I've
that.
I have had some really good sushi in the Maldives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, some of the
because
resorts.
is it because of the fresh catch?
fit-
Yeah,
fresh
the fresh catch.
So some of the resorts do very good sushi there.
Okay.
Okay, casual hawker meal or fine dining?
Casual hawker meal.
There you go.
Nice, nice.
Last one.
Okay, and last one is, if money was no object, what's your dream restaurant reservation? Not limited to Singapore. Go.
Okay. It would be San Ho Won, which is a Korean barbecue place in San Francisco, which is, I hear, impossible to book. You know, yeah. Anyway, yes, that's where I would
just
go.
plan now, book now, and keep yourself alive for 10 years, lah, right?
Yeah. Well, I think the earliest I would consider going to San Francisco, any place in the US, would be 2029. So I guess that would be a good time.
Yes,
You're
I
really
know
waiting for
why.
Donald Trump to get out,
Oh,
right?
we are all waiting.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I said it.
I said nothing of the sort, FD. Don't put words in my mouth. Nuh-uh.
I know I will go to America when Donald Trump's out.
Okay.
Not before that.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You're going to go there, right, on the day he's supposed to walk out of the White House, right? Like, yeah, right?
I'll
You'll be
bring
there.
my brass band and I'll play.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
again.
you, guys.
It's
Thank you
always
for
a
having
joy
me.
to have you in the studio with us. Aya, come back more lah. Come back more lah.
You're on your way. The Flying Dutchman and Lavinia on the